Alisha Lehmann talked about 10 places to visit in Switzerland. Alisha loves her country very much. Switzerland is a small and rather expensive country for traveling, which has a stable image, luxury quality of things, impeccable service, precision chronometers, skillful chocolatiers, alpine slopes, and pastoral pictures with grazing cows. But tourists to this country, which escaped devastation during World War II, are attracted first of all by perfectly preserved historical monuments, national parks with unique flora and fauna, a chain of picturesque lakes, the opportunity to lead an active lifestyle in good ecological conditions. The list of 10 tourist destinations in Switzerland will help to make an impression of the attractiveness of this European country. Lake Geneva. On the border of Switzerland and France, there's a lake, the second largest in Europe and probably the first in beauty. Like other water bodies in the area of the Alpine Mountains, it has glacial origin and unusual purity of cool and transparent water. The unique combination of subtropical and alpine zones creates a wonderful health-improving microclimate, and the developed infrastructure of many nice coastal towns and fashionable resorts will make the trip along Lake Geneva comfortable and memorable. Recommended places to visit on the Swiss coast of the lake. Jet d'eau fountain. Geneva and the famous jet d'eau fountain, flowing to a height of almost 150 meters directly from the waters of the lake. Lausanne and the natural terraces with vineyards in its vicinity. Montreux, the site of the annual iconic jazz festival. Nyon, the rock festival in this small town attracts over 200,000 music lovers every year. Grossmünster Cathedral in Zurich. The majestic temple in the Old Town is associated with the era of the Protestant Reformation, but its construction began long before that. According to one legend, the beginning of the cathedral was laid in the 9th century on the site of the family church of the Carolingian dynasty. According to another, Saints Felix and Regula were buried here, and the horse of Charlemagne, who came to honor the patrons of Zurich, stumbled when approaching their graves. This event was recognized as a sign from above. Whether it is true or not, now in the heart of the city stands a perfectly preserved ancient temple with 2 twin towers, on which a panoramic platform is equipped. As well as exploring the architecture and history of the ancient building, you can enjoy organ music here. The Gornergrat Railroad in the canton of Valais. It is probably one of the shortest railway lines, but the beauty of the terrain through which the trains pass and the unusual nature of its construction more than compensate for the lack of kilometers. Built on the APTA system, the toothed track connects the resort community in the Zermatt Valley on the Swiss-Italian border with the mountain peak of Gornergrat. Lake Vierwaldstadt. Because of its location, this picturesque natural body of water is also known as the Lake of Lucerne and the Lake of the Four Cantons, indeed. It was here in 1291 that the authorities of the disparate districts sealed their union with an oath and initiated the formation of the Confederation. The lake can rightly be called one of the most popular vacation spots in the country, not only because of its beauty. Its fame is added by the almost absolute transparency and purity of the water, which is equal to drinking water. For the convenience of traveling around the region of Lake Vierwaldstadt, there is a network of ropeways and toothed roads, and low-cabotage shipping is developed. The Rhine Falls in the canton of Schaffhausen. The largest of Europe's non-mountainous waterfalls becomes particularly powerful during the snowmelt. The convenient location of the viewing platforms makes a visit to this natural attraction particularly memorable. One of the viewing areas is located directly in the center of the water flows, and tourists are taken to it by special boats from the pier at the Worth Castle complex located a little downstream. The other castle is perched on a hill on the opposite bank, with restaurants and numerous stores. Zurich, one of the main cities of the country, is categorized as global. That is, it influences the political and financial life of various regions and beyond its borders. According to the number of headquarters of international organizations and banks, Zurich is among the top European cities. According to research in 2019, was ranked 2nd in the world ranking in terms of quality of life and 4th in terms of costliness. Historically, Zurich is quite interesting, with many old buildings of excellent preservation located within its old town. Some of the most significant sites include Chillon Castle in the Montreux region. The Swiss Riviera is rich in vacation spots, but there are some really interesting sites to explore. among which the Chillon Castle is a real gem. Thousands of tourists from all over the world come to the shores of Lake Geneva to see this creation of masters of fortification art. Fireplaces, pompous chandeliers on painted ceilings, artifacts of heraldic and knights' halls. Carefully selected samples of pewter table sets and wall trellises in the interior of the fortress form a significant part of the museum fund of the country. The Great Aletsch Glacier in the canton of Wallis. In addition to its mesmerizing beauty, the southern slope of the Bernese part of the Alps is famous for an important UNESCO-protected natural attraction. A 24-kilometer-long glacier that has carved a canyon with such a strange configuration that it is hard to believe that it is not man-made. The volume of the glacier itself, together with the Firn basins, is about 120 square kilometers. The Dying Lion in Lucerne. For more than 200 years, the most tragic stone in the world, according to Mark Twain, has been arousing special awe and excitement in the souls of people who look at it. The high relief carved in the rock monolith by the artist from Denmark Thorvaldsen depicts a lion pierced by a spear, defending a shield with the heraldic lily of the French kings. The inexpressible suffering and fatigue of this graceful and strong animal is so vividly conveyed that it seems that the lion was in the thick of battle just a minute ago. This monument is dedicated to the glory and memory of all the Swiss guards who laid down their heads in defense of the Tuileries Palace during the 1792 revolt. Kapellbruck Bridge in Lucerne. The ancient bridge over the River Reuss is one of the main landmarks of Switzerland and is considered to be the hallmark of Lucerne. The bridge was completed back in 1365, making the Chapel Bridge, as it is called by the townspeople, the oldest wooden bridge in Europe. At the center of the structure connecting the old and modern parts of the city is an octagonal stone water tower, which was built before the Kapellbruck was built. The entire length of the bridge is covered by a canopy roof, under which a kind of museum is opened. Several dozen paintings of unusual triangular shape familiarize everyone with the main events in the history of the canton and Switzerland as a whole.